Hello and happy holidays. Welcome to another episode of Queer Peer Reviews, where we review queer media, good, bad, and ugly. I'm your host, Jamie, and today with me is my co-host, Pam.
Hey everybody, here at QPR, we review your favorite and not so favorite forms of queer media.
And on today's episode of QPR, we are reviewing the 2020 holiday Hallmark film, The Christmas House. So as some of you may or may not know, this was advertised as Hallmark's first ever gay Christmas movie. If you see the trailer, it looks like your typical sibling rivalry between the gay brother and the straight brother during the holiday season, going back home. But unfortunately,
it was very misleading. We basically saw a few shots of the gay brother and his partner, who in the story, they're already established. They're already together, and there's no mishaps with them. They're very much just happy and in love, but it was less than we had hoped for.
But I'll give it to Hallmark. It wasn't your typical gay, corny love story. Like, I like that the couple was already established, and they're married, and you'll learn early in the film that they're trying to adopt a baby.
Right, that was a pretty big plot point for their story, but the way that it was advertised, it seemed like they were going to be, you know, the focus was going to be on them, but they ended up being like a side plot.
Yeah, you'd think that the way that they advertised it, it would be like half of like the brother's story, half of the other brother's story.
Right.
But it turns out that, like you said, the gay couple is just this B plot. And it's like a very minor B plot too, because the whole movie basically focuses on the straight brothers' issues and whole falling in love story with his childhood crush. Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, it was a cute story. It was alright.
Yeah.
It's your classic Hallmark film, but like when it comes to the gay couple, it's just, it feels like they just kind of sprinkled them in there just to be like, hey, like, we do have a gay film, because it's 2020. There have been plenty of holiday films before, including gay people, but never has there been any gay, like, inclusion in a Hallmark film. And I think they kind of maybe got a lot of crap from people saying, like, okay, so, like, all these straight stories are all the same during Christmas. Where is our gay representation?
Right.
And here it is. Here's your sprinkle of representation in this Christmas House film.
Yeah, the one kiss that they had in the film was already in the advertisement for it, in the little trailer.
But it was also their only kiss.
It was their only kiss.
It was their only kiss. It took 31 minutes to get their first kiss. And you never see the gay couple kiss again or share any form of really intimacy or chemistry until like the very end, when they learn that they're like adopting a baby.
Yeah, and even when they found out about that, like, they didn't throw in another kiss, and they just sort of like hugged each other and got really close. But again, it's like, so, you know, as an audience member, you're anticipating like, oh, this is the moment where they're overjoyed and like full of love, ready to celebrate.
I'd like to add in there, not only did they hug, they did like a bro hug. They're like, oh, come on. And it was like very bro-y. It was very like frat boy hug. Like, you don't really want to make people think that you're gay, so we're just gonna hug like, yo, bro, what's up?
Yeah. All right, I'll bring up 2 points.
Okay.
So point 1 is that thankfully they, you know, included queer representation by actual queer people. I think that's something that's been lacking in some other shows that we've seen in the past, so I'll give them points for that. But they also, not only is the gay plot like a side plot, but they also put so much emphasis on the mom and dad divorcing. Like, half of the movie was dedicated to that, to their relationship like changing and maybe crumbling apart. And we see that hinted throughout the movie, and then they reconcile like at the very end. And it was all kind of quick for their story. And it's just like, they could have spent more time on the gay plot, honestly. Like, I was knocking out a little bit.
Yeah, I think we had to watch in 2 different like seatings, because like we stopped.
Yeah.
And the whole fact that the gay couple isn't the main couple or even sharing half of the screen time as much as the straight brother is, it kind of comes back to the Hallmark Channel is known for having a more conservative audience. Not saying it's a conservative channel, but a lot of the people who watch all these Hallmark Christmas films are conservatives.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's like a bad thing, but I think this is Hallmark's way of playing it safe.
Yeah, sort of like to segue into potentially expanding their demographic in the sense of like more queer people or just in general not as conservative, potentially. Like dipping their toes in the water.
Yeah, I know since this came out, I believe there have been one or two more, like, the whole plot revolves around a gay couple.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how their main audience took to that. So this is their way saying, hey, we're gonna start including some gay stuff now. Just a heads up to our conservative audience. That's what it kind of felt like.
It's like a nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah, but the way that they advertised it, again, it's deceiving.
Right, yeah. It was just very anticlimactic for me, personally. Like, just the one kiss and, you know, to celebrate something as big as adopting in general, like, I feel like that's a really big step, no matter what relationship you're in with whoever.
Yeah.
Like, for that to just be a bro hug and, yeah, we did it, and, you know, that's it. I feel like, I don't know, we could have seen, we just wanted more.
Yeah, that single gay kiss kind of felt like, look, we did it.
We did
it's
a
gay.
thing.
It's gay. Here you go. For you guys.
Yeah.
We're allies.
Yeah. I was thinking this while I was watching the film, is that they had a really slow build up to the kiss between the brother and his childhood crush who like reunite and everything. I thought that was, like, I know that they have build-ups in other Hallmark movies, but this one felt much longer simply because, like I said, there was a lot of emphasis on the brother's relationship, or well, soon-to-be relationship, and then the mom and dad potentially divorcing. So yeah, I feel like the film just could have been shorter because it was very much dragging. That's just how I feel. So
Yeah, let's talk about it more in our reviews. All right, so let's get to our ratings. Let's start with representation.
So for representation, we give it...
I give it a 9.
I give it an 8.5.
All right. I'm giving it a 9 because we already have that established couple. They're not just like dating, they're married. And they're also adopting a baby and wind up being approved for that adoption, which I think is something that's really nice to see, especially in a Hallmark film. Even though considering that we were kind of essentially queer-baited into Hallmark's first ever LGBT inclusive movie.
Yeah.
It was really nice to see, and I think that was a decently big step for them.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think, you know, I think for the times, it could be a little bit stronger considering their story was really strong. I would have liked to see more character development in terms of their story. Not have them be a side story would be ideal, but again, the 0.5 on my part is just, you know, giving Hallmark a pat on the back. Being like, you know what, I'm proud of you, buddy.
Dang, is mine too high? Should I have given it like
No, your call.
You know what, that's why it's not a 10, because it was like just a little sprinkle.
Yeah.
But like, they were represented well, they were...
Right. I don't know, I feel like they could have gone into more depth.
At least they weren't that gay included character in a movie that's like, hey,
Yeah,
like,
very...
I mean, there are gay people that are like that, but I feel like in a lot of straight movies, whenever they include a gay character,
Right.
they're always the, hey,
It's like the
gay
best friend stereotype of being super flamboyant and
It's like
loud and...
how they think all gay people are for some reason.
Right, yeah.
But also, was it like they didn't want to include a flamboyant gay, and they just wanted them to act straight? Ooh, I don't know.
That's a good question.
You know what? Just for that realization, we are going.
no.
I'm gonna match you. We're gonna go to an 8.5 as well.
I changed your mind.
You changed my mind.
Oh my
You have that impact on me.
Flattered.
8.5.
Next up, queer comfort.
So for queer comfort, I give it a 7.9.
I gave it a 7.
Ooh, okay. I mean, no, that's totally valid. I give it a 7.9 because, like I said, first ever.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't say queer people would necessarily gravitate this and call it like, this is my comfort movie during the holiday season. But like I said, it is nice to see the well-established, non-toxic, I'd like to add, gay couple in a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So I feel sometimes like there's some toxicity going into like
oh, definitely.
couples and Christmas movies.
Yeah. I mean, that could be within any relationship, but yeah, they can be very toxic or like over-sexualized in media. That's definitely something we've seen.
Yeah, I didn't give it an 8, I gave it a 7.9. 8 felt too high because, that whole bro hug scene really irked me when we watched it. I was like, so they're not gonna kiss. They're not gonna kiss during this intimate moment. I'm just like, very frustrating.
I think queer comfort, I'm giving it a 7 because there's representation. It's of a happy, healthy gay life, and they're in an established relationship about to adopt a kid and everything. I think it shows the possibility of, having, I guess, a more traditional lifestyle while being queer and, being able to have a family and stuff like that and reach to their typical demographic through that. And I think for some queer people who maybe they're in the closet, maybe they're still not comfortable with their queer identity, I think in this sense, it gives them a little bit of understanding and hope that if they don't want to be flamboyant or necessarily out there in a really loud way, this is a way to show them you don't have to do all of that if you don't want to. You can very much be happy and be queer, and if you want to have that privacy or just have it be really casual, this is a great example of that. So I feel in that sense, I think it might help some people out there that might be struggling with that.
I've also had a realization while you were saying that, it is helping people out there. It is a queer comfort movie for straight people.
Yeah, I think it's giving a queer family member might be trying to come out to family, so they put on this movie.
No. I mean for the people, again, conservative audience.
Right.
That is I don't know about gay people. So they sprinkled in this gay couple. Be no, gay people are okay. See, they could be happy.
Yeah.
They could raise a baby together.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So yeah, for straight people, it's a 10.
It's within their potential comfort level too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I thought about that. I did. It's conflicting.
It's okay. See, these aren't that kind.
Right.
They're the good kinds. That's what it's giving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next up, writing.
For writing, we give it
4.5.
Oh wow, 6.5.
And you said your 6.5 is harsh.
I
Please
would say
go for it.
Okay, I give it a 6.5 because I can't really remember anything specific about it. And that can go both ways. I mean, thankfully they weren't degrading about it or anything, and again, they're trying to give a little sprinkle to their audience. So, it was fine. There was nothing bad in the script, but I can't think of anything memorable or vaguely interesting. So, 6.5.
4.5.
Uh-huh.
Again, false advertising, and I think a lot of like the bad writing kind of showed with how misleading the trailer was. I feel like they're like, yeah, let's advertise it as this so we can, you know, kind of draw people in,
Right.
and then have this completely sideways story that we were not expecting. I mean, it could have been lower. It could have been lower than a 4.5, and they had 3 different stories going on in there, which honestly they made work. It didn't feel that messy.
But they didn't need that.
They didn't need
that
it.
third story.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it just, not in a sense that the writing was terrible. I just am very disappointed by the writing. I feel like it had so much more potential.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just bad execution. Maybe the writing was fine. It wasn't executed well.
I feel like they could have dedicated more time to just the brothers' love story and the gay brothers' love story, and that's it. Like, that would have been totally fine with me. I wouldn't have minded a shorter runtime, too.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
Next up, Originality.
So for Originality, I give it a 4.
I gave it a 6.
Wow, you were just, you know.
I'm trying to be really nice because it's a Hallmark movie.
But exactly, Hallmark is a bunch of cookie cutter films.
Just for the first movie, at least, showing a gay couple who is happy and in love and is about to adopt a kid. Like, I can't stop emphasizing the adopt a kid thing because that was a big deal. I mean, sure even now, but like, this was made in 2020. Maybe it was written like since 2015-16, because that's when that was a really big deal, and you know, it's still difficult. So I think for them to even include that was a bold step, which is why I'm giving it a 6.
And last but not least, our overall feelings towards the film.
So for our overall feelings about the film, here they are.
I give it a 6.5.
I gave it a 6.
Oh, okay, we were in the same range. I thought I was being too harsh with the 6, so I gave it a little sprinkle of hope in there.
I was gonna put a 6.5, but honestly, I just thought about how I could have watched a different queer film instead of this one, and how I knocked out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think if I watched just the trailer and I had to give a review of the trailer, I would have been like, yeah, like I'm so excited to watch this.
Yeah.
But again, like the whole fact that it was false advertising, and if you watch the trailer, it really does show more, and it's like, oh my god, there's a gay couple, oh my god, like, but then it's just, there's something missing, and it's the gay couple.
Yeah, it was underwhelming.
But again, it wasn't like the worst like Hallmark film out there. It wasn't too corny. It was cheesy, the good cheesy, but
yeah.
All right, so let's get to our QPR total. So The Christmas House, a Hallmark holiday film, first ever LGBT representation, gets a 65.4, which is a C-. And I think that's pretty
fair.
Yeah, it's pretty fair.
It was their first attempt. Underwhelming, but it was their first attempt.
Yeah. The queer baiting will not get you far, Hallmark. Do better.
I just want better writing. I want more character development for queer characters and more queer actors. Definitely keep that up.
But anyway, happy holidays from Queer Previews. Thanks again for watching another episode. Down below you can find links to the Trevor Project along with our social media pages and other helpful links. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.